good, Becky. That's not good there. Lots. Look, I am blanketed like it is still cold in here. It's not. Oh my goodness, what time is a time when I'm not supposed to be live. I mean, I'm supposed to be live, and I'm supposed to be live, but I'm supposed to be live in the day, on this day. Welcome, y'all. Oh my goodness. I'm remembering back to a time. I don't got it in me tonight, Lord. I apologize. Oil Sophie is wrong. But in the coming week, I am going to be obedient to what I was doing previously back in 2020. Welcome, y'all. I guess I better go ahead on Sylvie414. And I is Sylvie, your rough edge lady. She is being real rough edge right now. So now I will continue what I was saying. So back when I got the instruction in 2020 to start back up, because I have started and stopped and started and stopped. I have bowed out. I'm starting to feel that, Lord. My appointment coming up. Starting to feel that. Oh my gosh, y'all. I mean, I've always felt it because it's a whole hole. And I've just been sitting around just letting it hold. Look, so we're a rough edge lady. It is what it is. I'm working, and I'm a work in progress. I just told my peoples yesterday, don't put me on no pedestals, please and thank you. I love you. Nobody goes on the pedestal but the God. That's the only ones. Why my phone just look like it took a picture? They be doing that sometime. But anywho, the God told me not to bow out. So I bowed out on this a couple of times. The God told me I could not bow out on this anymore prior to not bowing out on it. Keeps doing that. Prior to not bowing out on this, the God told me don't bow out at the church house. At the church house. Because trust and believe. She don't bow out on the God. Not even when she bow out on the church house. Because it is but a church house. It isn't but the church. I am but the church. You are but the church. We are but the church. That is but a church house, a building, a local assembly. You know, where you go worship, fellowship, and thanks. Minister, if they please. My phone keeps flashing like it's taking pictures. I don't know what that's all about. So, in not, also, in not bowing out, and welcome, y'all. I'm tripping. I'm not tripping, but I'm tripping off of the fact that it just keeps doing that, because No light in the background. There's no reason that they should just keep doing that. Um, but I was also given the instruction back in 2020 to be live 3 times a week, which I was. I was up at 4 a.m., which you guys hear me talk about. And to give it 5 minutes before I start speaking. And back then I was playing music, so before I even played a song, to give it 5 minutes, to be patient, to wait for people to come in. Whether people come in or not, give it 5 minutes. I don't know if that's because my internet is, a little challenged right now. That's partially because I wasn't even going to come live tonight because I know that my internet is challenged. I'm like, when I say I am walking in the God right now and God is yet blessing, do y'all know, remember on Monday I came in and I was sitting in that chair. It's a nice chair. It's a nice chair. It's a nice chair. It's a computer chair. It's a nice computer chair. I was sitting in that chair. And I said, when the God is ready, the God will bring me furniture. Y'all think that fair? So when the God is ready, the God will upgrade the internet to where it needs to be, because we all know I need internet. Proper internet. So, patience is key. Oh, buddy, have I learned. And I know that God teaches us on and on. So, y'all, y'all saw my title. Let's talk heavenly minded and earthly good. And today is not even about oppression per se. I guess, today I'm just really talking about, today is the day that I will be talking about numbers that I see. I will be talking about chakras. I will be talking about shadow. And I didn't do any, I didn't gather any information on shadow, but two of the things that I'm going to be speaking about kind of reference shadow things. I mean, really, everything I'm talking about kind of goes into shadow things. So look, y'all. I really don't even, I showed y'all my crystal that my daughter bought me. I don't really talk about crystals because I don't know about them. And I do not run into things that I don't know. Y'all see I come up here and I talk about numbers. That's something I believe God has just given me and said, move forward in this and I will guide you. Crystals, on the other hand, my daughter gifted me my crystal. I bought some little, I don't even know that what I bought was even like anywhere near the real deal. But I began to make some jewelry with it. I call it my elementary collection. I had not even really done the research on them properly. My daughter has a crystal book. It's called the Crystal Bible. Excuse me, y'all. Let me drink some of my water. My throat is dry. It's called the Crystal Bible. And so she told me that I can have it because she doesn't use it. But the God knows that I don't rush into anything that I am not sure of. The God has had to push me off of plenty the cliffs. Has had to push me off plenty the cliffs. So I'm not gonna rush into things I don't know. But one thing for sure, and two things for certain. Another instruction that I got from the God, one of the very most first instructions, is that you're gonna tell the truth. The highest form of reality. The truth. Know where I got that from? Because the God speaks to me from all kinds of places. It's not just, but you know, he speaks to me from some church folk too. And I just love when the old folk come and give me the wisdom that I need. Because I would say Bill Winston is kind of like the old folk, like Deacon Washington. When Deacon Washington said, watch what kind of music you put in your spirit, and then Deacon Washington said, come by here, my Lord, come by here. Now, vet me. I digress. I digress. Because I said it, Lord. But anywho. But yeah, I don't just run into things like that. But what I will do is seek ye first the kingdom of God. I will seek out God's face. I said all of that to say, we've been taught. I've been taught. I'll speak for me. No, we've been taught that it's just absolutely, positively wrong. And relationships are severed for the things that I come on this platform and speak about. I've been a Christian for a long time. Since I was a little girl. Yeah. This one. Since I was a little girl. Contrary to what anybody may believe. And guess what about this one? The God loves this one dearly. You better ask somebody if you don't know. Now you know. Hey, oh. I ain't never broke it. It's normally song, Lord. Oh, give me. You know very well. Okay. But I said all that to say, I had a conversation with someone that was anti-Christian. Without going into the conversation, I'll say, I had a conversation with someone that was anti-Christian in a way that I felt like, and I didn't voice my opinion. I just listened to the conversation. But it was in a way that I felt like detrimental might be a strong word, but it's not good for that person. It's not good for that person. I had to say that because it was after this conversation. I'm on TikTok, and that's why I said when I say the God speaks to me in all kinds of ways, it's not just through people. And even if it's through people, like it's not just through Christian people, you know what I'm saying? It's not just through, the God has spoken to me through, I was a homeless people when the God had me speaking. So, that part. I was never charged to stop speaking because I was going through a situation or a circumstance. I was challenged to continue. I had a piece of hairy looking lint over there and I needed to get it. I was challenged to continue in spite of the things that I was going through. And that's why I don't call the things that I was going through a struggle. I call them a preparation because God was leading me all the way and saying, baby, you're doing all right. Or saying, baby, you need to tighten up. Or saying, baby, stop being so hard on yourself. Or saying, baby, be a little harder. All the way. Ain't left me yet. Come by here, my Lord, come by here. How you gonna tell God to come by here when his word say, and lo, I am with you always, even until the end of the earth. Ain't left me yet. You feel me? Ain't left me yet. Now, about these there crystals and Bibles. It's crystals and Bibles. Because after I had that conversation, I'm on TikTok and I'm listening. I was like, they talk about crystal and how wrong it is and blah, 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 blah. I don't remember what she was saying exactly, but what I do know is that little lady went to the scriptures. She went to the scriptures and I studies to show thyself approved, because when I was talking to, yesterday I was going to talk about this and then I said I was going to save it for today. Because we were speaking for almost 3 hours. When I was telling her, God told me I had to cut this down because I could do this for 3 hours because I have. I kept saying 13, I kept saying Abraham and 13 crystals. I'm probably going to look up the number 13 because I kept saying 13 crystals. I kept saying Abraham and 13 crystals. And then I went in there and threw it in. Well, I'm probably saying Abraham because he was a whole astrologer. Phoenicia and Jerusalem. 2 times over, astrologer. I just be studying. Hey, show myself approved. In the Bible is where I be studying to find out the things. Because I commentary and stuff. I like words and reading. I had to look up a word when I was defining 14. So we're going to talk about the number 14 a little bit. I'm going to continue the number 14 next week. I'm getting a methodical, I'm not going to skip ahead. There was a methodical and level-headed. I'm getting God know I wasn't always level-headed. Level-headed is balanced. And God know I wasn't always balanced. There's still things that I am working on balancing. But how can I speak to the silly women as the leader of the silly women if I wasn't a silly woman? 1133. Greek and Hebrew. Hebrew and Greek. Leader, silly women. Hebrew, leader, Greek, silly women. 1133. I like numbers too. God knew all of that. God knew all of that. I just told Queen, look, Queen about to do it again. Come on, God. Come on, pull through for little dude. Let him be on in the 8th grade. Let me call that thing that be not as though it was. Queen about to do it again. She said, I don't know if he... Look, that's my aunt. That's my Aunt Ma. That's my Aunt Ma. She said, I don't know if he's as smart as you were in kindergarten. I don't be, look, God told me to let other people praise me and not me praise myself, because my cousin said to me, as she was correcting me, that 13, because sometimes I go off on a tangent, that 13, I thought it was 12. Cause she studied too. Like we ain't had no choice in the matter for real. We ain't had no choice in the matter what we did. God give you a choice, but Portia and them, not for real. I thought it was 12 to represent the 12 tribes. You are absolutely right, cousin. Check me. She said, because I know you be studying. I know you get into your study like that. Check me, cousin, because I always need to be checked. Because I don't never want to give nobody no wrong information. Sometimes things might slip through the cracks. Just like that Abraham and that 13. Well, he said, I don't know if he's as smart as you were in kindergarten, but he came home and said he been bored. This is the second time she done talked to me. Twos be important. Twos be important. Second time she done talked to me this week. First time she wasn't gonna do it. Why you ain't out there like you was for me? She trying to get a whole 7th grade skip. That's a whole different ball game, I'd say. I was in just kindergarten, is my thing. She just was like, y'all need to do something because she don't need to go to kindergarten. She just need to go on to 1st grade. Head start 1st grade. Kindergarten's for the kindergartners. And they worked that thing out. But I'm wrong. Yes. She referenced scripture. Now, I have not spoken with the person, but I want to. That's how important I believe that it was. I would like to speak with the person because I've gone in and done my study. These are all crystals. And look, I was looking it up again today before I came live, or just a little bit ago. It's not today anymore. It's kind of tonight. And it gave me another scripture. So my thought process and my question is, and help me please, why would the God begin the Bible with 12 crystals and end the Bible with 12 crystals if they're wrong? And they got one in there so dang special. Diamonds are forever. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. Diamonds is not even a multiple mineral. It's just one. And crystals are multiple minerals. Diamond is just one. So they reference them. If you'd like to go and check behind me, because I say always check behind me. So they reference them first in Exodus. 12 whole crystals. 12 whole crystals. 12 whole crystals in Exodus. Exodus 39, 8 through 14. Go check it out if you dare. Those 12 crystals are for Moses and Aaron. They the high priest, so you got to get them ready to be able to go into the holies of holies. You have to get them ready. You got to get the ephod, right? They made their garments. They named off the purple and all that stuff like that. And then the breastplates. They had to have 4 rows of 3 crystals each. 4 rows of 3 crystals each. That's Exodus. Now Revelation's here. Revelation says that this is what your walls are going to be made out of in the New Jerusalem. 12 crystals. There are 7 in common. So 7 of them from Exodus are the same ones in Revelation. You remember when I said 2 is important? Why would the God begin and end the Bible? And no, Exodus is not the first chapter of the Bible, but we had to go in there and allow the God to create first, But it's the second book. And Revelations is the very last. Scratches temple. So we can move on from that because I just wanted to say that. So now I'm going to give you some information about the heart chakra. So let me say one thing about these chakras and me, just me personally. When I started, that's why I don't move into things quickly, because moving into that a little quickly without doing the proper study. Went into the sacral first. Yeah. I'm not talking about the sacral, so I'm not going to tell you about the sacral. I'll let you go and check out the sacral if you like. And if you want to come back around to it, we talk about it again. No, I don't even think I've talked about the sacral. Maybe. Root. Yeah, I did. I did. I talked about it first, but I wasn't supposed to, but it's the second. It's after the root and then solar plexus. But I said all of that to say is without knowing where I was with each of them, I have been, like when I went into the solar plexus, I was already on a journey of confidence, and that is what the solar plexus deals with. I will say here, God already knows I love myself. God knows I love people. God knows that I am still challenged with compassion and empathy, that's why I didn't have to really talk about the shadow or the shadow work, because compassion and empathy are anema, are where you need to balance your masculine. And remember, I already said that I know I walk in more masculinity. And see, what I understand, what the men don't understand is that when you associate yourself with your other side, which whether you want to allow that to be or not, it is not you walking in any type of other sexuality. It is you allowing yourself to learn how to be compassionate and empathetic, which a lot of men are not, because it does not relate to insensitivity. And a lot of men can be very insensitive and very, men like to say that they're the alpha male. A lot of times that comes with a very, very insensitive. It just is what it is. A lot of men refuse to acknowledge that they have a feminine side. Science, psychology, and religion. Wisdom is a woman. I'm certain there is some femininity in any religion that you go into. But I'm just speaking about Christianity. My ear itched like there's something in it. It was nothing though. Like I'm picking my finger like it was something in it. But it just keeps itching. That's a piece of lint. Is that what was itching it? I don't know. But yes, that is all that the anema is speaking about. What this heart chakra is speaking about. You need to learn how to be compassionate. It's first speaking about loving yourself and loving others. We know that's what I talk about. I didn't ask the heart chakra to come on here and talk about what Sylvie be talking about. God just be telling me what to go and do, and I just be trying to do it. It's awesome. So it says that there needs to be some empathy, some compassion, and forgiveness. Look, Mr. Ben used to always, look, God know I'm challenging all three areas. Told y'all I am Sylvie, the rough edge lady. I am still a work in progress. That's why I be telling folks, don't be trying to put me on no pedestals. Please and thank you. Jeez. Please and thank you. The heart chakra. That's why I said, before I go into any of these, before I went into the solar plexus, I was talking about commanding rooms in 2021, 2020. We commanding these rooms, baby. Come on now. The color that is associated with the heart chakra is green, and again, it is the fourth chakra. It's the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, and then the heart. The goal is to balance it. The goal is to, it's not saying that you supposed to be no pushover or nothing like that, but if you know that you don't have no compassion for nobody's situation, if you think everybody is just supposed to pull themselves up by the bootstrap, regardless of what they've gone through, if you are just totally just pull yourself up by the bootstrap, you heard the word I said first, and you know what we do not want to be over here at Sylvie's place on either side of totally. So if you just totally pull yourself up by the bootstrap, baby, it's not right. You got to go get some compassion. She got to be a little empathetic towards somebody's situation. She got to be able to forgive. Forgiveness is a, look at here. That story about them crystals that I want to go back and talk to somebody about. That story is about forgiveness. And understanding that if they do it here in the Bible, at the beginning and end, please catch that. It is crystals in the beginning of this Bible and in the end. So if you're willing to sever a relationship over a crystal that's in the Bible, because my word from God is that anything that you do more than you do God becomes idolatry. Anything that you do more than you do God. If you are crystalling more than you're godding, because they're in the Bible, it is important that they in there representing the tribes of Israel in both books. In Revelations, it's 12 of them because the walls, the foundation of the New Jerusalem are 12, and they represent the 12 tribes. On those breastplates for Aaron and Moses, there are 12 because they represent the 12 tribes. You can make them want to be what you want to make them want to be. But when you go and do the research, when you go and study, they are what they are. So we're talking balance of your heart. We're talking empathy. We're talking forgiveness. We're talking compassion. So if your heart chakra is working in an excessive manner, because that's all that I said. I said this before I read it. I'm like, if your heart chakra is not right, you is going to be, it said that it's for love of yourself and love of other people. And I said, before I went any further, I said to myself, Lord, you ain't going to love other people right if you don't know how to love yourself. Even if you think you loving other people the bestest, you're going to want something out of that relationship that's contingent on the fact that you're not loving you right. And you know what this is? Codependency. The first thing that it says, codependency. You might not think that it's good, it's a bad thing that you're codependent on somebody, but if you was loving yourself or learning how to, you may not be as codependent on someone as you would be if you did not love yourself. This heart chakra is about learning to love yourself. I ain't asked for this, y'all. This is the first time I'm studying the heart chakra. But y'all know what I talk about on this platform on the regular. Welcome, y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. On the regular. I said, you can't love yourself. You cannot love another person right if you don't love yourself. Codependency is not a good thing. Poor boundaries. Guess what? I'm in my no season now. People be thinking I be joking. I be serious as a heart attack. All kinds of no's. My girlfriend dropped something in. I dropped something in the grocery store one day. Oh no. I didn't drop it because I dropped it. It dropped because they didn't have it shelved right. So, okay, I'm in my no seat. No. And I said, I'm learning to say no to people because I will yes to the detriment of me. Well, and have. Learn how to say no to people. Boundaries. And my boundaries ain't poor, because don't get me wrong, the yeses that I give to people, and most of the time, folks that the closest ones to me, I don't just be yesing everybody to death, but I will go out of my way for people I just love. I'm a giver. I'm a giver. And God, yeah. Let me, because God done told me. If God done told me going forward, you better not get your last. You got something to give. You did. You did. But you got to do it. When you get, when you get, and you give yours. Okay, God. So, you have to be able to see you to be able to do better. You have to be able to see you. Possessive, jealous, and narcissistic. Man, I'm not either of those. I'm not. I ain't even gonna say that I might not have no jealousy. But one thing for sure and two things for certain, it ain't about no man. It ain't about no man. I will compare myself to like, okay, let me give you an example. Cause I love me some boo. I just told my cousin the other day, and had to face a harsh reality. I won't say a harsh reality, but it's kind of harsh. My daughter had to say to me, because I wasn't the best to boo in relationships. Somebody that would expect something. I wasn't the best to boo in relationships. And after I ain't have Felicia no more, me and Boo got so tight. It's ridiculous. I just told my cousin it's as if the God looked like here go Felicia all over again, but different. She's Felicia, but different. Very, very different. They have a lot of similarities, but they're very, very different. But when I be calling Boo, cause Boo be in her own thing. When I be calling Boo, I get a little beside myself, a little bit jealous. If she don't call me back in a timely manner, it does not have to be about a man. So yeah, got a little bit jealous. I might get like that over my babies too. It's only over people that I love dearly. I don't just get jealous, even if it's a friend. I might get a little jealous. Look, I have a cousin that I just took that on, and we now blood cousins. And that's why I said that, because we not even blood cousins. But I feel the same way about her. Jealous. Working on my heart chakra. Come and join me. Come and join me. Yes, those are the excessives. Now, if you're deficient, and this is all of this excessive and deficient, totally. That's why goal is balance. Sylvie414, that one in the middle. I am here for you guys. I am here for you. We're going on a journey together. 2 different numbers. I lost the journal with those numbers, and I thought I still had them on my camera, but I need to look through that stuff. So, Deficiency is shy, lonely, isolated, lack of empathy, bitter, critical. And this is where we bring a little shadow into it. The shadow element for the heart chakra is grief and resentment. So grief and resentment is sitting there. Your shadow element is, you know what your shadow is. You know when you see your shadow down there. I used to try to jump on my shadow and separate from it and all kinds of things. D-God said she is the perfect one because that thing used to play with her shadow when she was, I did. Y'all ain't play with y'all shadow. Okay. I'm almost done, y'all. I'm almost done. But I used to play with my shadow. So the shadow element is grief and resentment. So it's sitting there. If you think it's just going to let you show compassion, you think grief and resentment is just going to let you show compassion and empathy and forgiveness. It's not going to let you. That's why the battle is, the battlefield with the mind, the battlefield between you and yourself. That why you supposed to be fixing something out there trying to sweep around somebody's front door before you try to sweep around yours. I'm just saying. Crystals associated with the heart chakra: jade, amazonite. What did I say? Mabshite. I don't know if that's a B or what. But this is what I'm going to say, y'all. I said it in the beginning. Don't go out there and just be trying to play around with no crystals now. I implore you. I implore you. Because they were there for a reason. They were on those, they were protection. And Moses and Aaron were not Christians, so we can't say it's a Christian thing. Because the beginning of that Bible had nothing to do with Christianity. It had to do with the children of Israel. Christianity came later. So then we go into the number 14. And of course, I'm always going first and foremost to Strong's Exhaustive Concordance. And we start with the Hebrew. It is a word called Ava. But it looks like it's spelled with a B, but it's a fancy B. It's a B with a fancy thing up underneath it. It's all kind of, when I do it, I try to put the symbols that they have, so if I ever see it again, I'll know how to pronounce it in reference to the symbols. I don't know. But it means, this is the Hebrew of the number 14. The word associated with it means to breathe after, to be willing, to consent, to yield to accept, to desire. The Greek agate ergo. Agato ergo. I have to pronounce it slow. Agato ergo. That's what that word says. Work good, do well, act rightly. Something about me puts those together. I don't always put them together. Something about me is putting those together. To breathe after, to be willing, to consent, to yield to, accept, desire, to do good, to work good, to do well, act rightly. The Greek gives 1 Timothy 6:18 And I referenced that only because it said do good works, distribute, meaning give, and be willing to communicate. Be willing to communicate. Communication is such a problem. We just rather cut off. We don't really communicate well. Yeah. And then I'm going to give you a little bit from sunsigns.org as far as the angel number for number 14. I'm going to continue in sun signs next Thursday because it was a lot more. And because I started off with Strong's Exhaustive Concordance, I didn't go any further in angel number than I did. So, of course, it is a combination of the numbers 1 and 4. And the number 1 is, and I study in I study on sun signs a lot, but I go to different websites as well, and I've also looked up the number 1 and the number 4 prior to know that what these are saying are legitimate. Gave it a different spin, a little in a sense, but still the same. Because this is where I said there was a word that I looked up. Because I like to look up words, but I don't know what a word means. I want to know. You know, we talked about me being nosy the other day. It is what it is. Nosiness, you know, just lets you find things out. And some of my numbers tell me I'm supposed to find things out. Yeah. I'm a-moving, Lord. I'm a-moving. 1, starting novel ventures and completing them with alacrity. ALACRITY. Eagerness. And I said, Lord, and y'all, because I was saying in my flesh self that I wasn't going to come live, but I just was like, although I be tired, like there is such an enjoyment that I would say that there's an eagerness that I have for what I'm doing already. I'm gonna go ahead and finish my FAFSA tomorrow because my internet is not gonna let me do my FAFSA here. I have to get somewhere where I have a little more better internet speed. I'm looking at my lives and they live and like my internet is, that could be what the flashes are all about. I don't know, but they just keep flashing. So yes, that's what 1 is. And the 4, progressive attainment of objectives by honest and reliable means. That is all that I have been saying about the first shall be last and the last shall be first. The God will not allow you to move forward as the last being first if you're not moving forward in integrity. And that's all that just said, the number 14. You're doing this with integrity. If you cannot do it with integrity, the God gonna snatch it up away from you. Even if it allows you to move forward, if you cannot do it with integrity, the God is going to move you. And some people gonna think integrity. Some people is gonna try to determine what they feel like integrity means. So glad that you vetted me, Lord. Methodical, level-headed approach to life. Level-headed, balance. It said balance over here with the heart chakra. Balance over here with the level-headed view of life. And I would say balance is important. Just like I said, God had to slow me down from being rash. I have not, have not been rash in quite some time, so much so to the point where God had to say, okay, I don't want you to be on the other side totally either. Rash is totally. Don't be on the other side of totally. Why did God allow me to talk to y'all? Because God knows that I used to live in totallys. Leader of silly women, duh. Jeez. Louise already. I be trying to tell them, Lord. Where I'm at. Looking for life in all the right places. Looking for life. So I was totally blown as to why this number started off this way. Because generally when you're looking up a number, it's gonna break down the 1 and the 4. Tell you it's gonna what the whole number is all about. So it's gonna break down. If it's a 3-digit number, it's gonna break down what 3 digits make it up, and then it's gonna give you a brief synopsis of what that number means. To the true meaning of the number, it's gonna tell you about the number in love. It's gonna tell you about the number in numerology. Why does number start off like this? Right after it broke down the 1 and the 4, it said you're looking for a life partner to share your love. If you're not compatible with your partner, you gotta wait for them to change their attitude. You have to be patient. Because everybody and everything is not always gonna go your way. You gotta be patient. You can't just be going around trying to fix her on people. You're supposed to fix her on yourself. If you meet that person that way, and that person is good enough when you meet them to get you to the place where you think they're a life partner, then you start trying to work on them and change them and make them something that they're not. How does any of that work? Because you're not going to want them to do that to you. I can't imagine that I don't want nobody. Leave me be. Leave me be. If you come to me how I am, leave me be. I'm going to leave you be. I promise you. If we draw each, oh my goodness. If we draw each other to the point of life partnership, leave me be. And it is also about spiritual growth. And we're going to stop there. Hello. Y'all know what I did? I'm going to do it now. No, I'm not. Because that will consist of, why is my chest keep, it don't need my chest. Well, I guess that is a little bit of my chest. But I don't know. I didn't mic. It's okay. Hello, beautiful. I didn't mic. But it's okay. You remember when I had talked about Sylvie414? Beautiful, you have to go out there and seek out the truth and the wisdom for yourself. Don't let. There's no fun in that. Learn and grow. That's all. I love you. Sylvie is out.